if I talk about the OSI model, so simply the open system interconnection, that is the OSI reference model, is a conceptual framework that defines the layers of communication in the computer network, and it provides a standardized way to understand and design network protocols and systems. Here you can see, first one is the physical layer, and simply the functions of the physical layer. I tried my best to keep the images here for you to understand it in a deeper manner, because these are the conceptual part. So simply the function is bit transmission, and it sends individual bits over a physical medium, copper wire, fiber optical cable, wireless, that is the Bluetooth and all, any. But yes, it is simply for the bit transmission. Signal encoding, the physical layer I'm telling, the functionalities of the physical layer. So it converts the digital data into the electrical signals that can be transmitted. Then the media access control, so it regulates the access to the physical medium. And the fourth is the repeaters and hubs are the devices which are basically used when you are talking about the physical layer. So when we talk about the physical layer, so the repeaters and the hubs are the devices which gets used. Then the next one is the data link layer. So in the data link layer, the framing is done. It divides the data into frames for the transmission purpose. Error detection and correction is done in the data link layer. It detects and corrects errors in the transmitted data. Flow control is managed in the data link layer, so it regulates the rate of transmissions to prevent the congestion. And switches and bridges are the devices which are basically used in the case of the data link layer. Then the next one is the network layer. So here you can say the logical addressing is done in the network layer. Logical addressing like IP addresses to the devices are allocated. Then simply the routing is there, so it determines the best path for the data packets to reach their designation. Network layer is simply for the routing purposes. Firstly, the addresses are given, then the routing is done. So simply it will be decided that from where the data will be getting transmitted to where. Packet switching, it breaks the data into the packets and route them independently. So packets will be prepared in the data link, in the network layer only. In the network layer, the packets will be prepared, the addresses will be written on them, and then it will be routed to their designated addresses. And the devices which are used on the network layer is simply the routers. It is just like the postman service, postal services, you can say. Like the postal services, the network layer works. The data is simply divided into the packets, then it is addressed. Addresses are there, then the destination is decided from where till where the data is going to be transmitted, and simply the routers are the devices which are used on the network layer. Then the next is simply, okay, this image where you can see all the working in one liners I have kept here. Okay, now simply the fourth layer, that is the transport layer. So it is reliable for the data transmission, and it ensures that the data is delivered correctly without errors. So errors are already removed in the previous layers, but here also it is simply checked. Flow control, so it regulates the rate of data transmission to prevent the congestions. And multiplexing, so it allows a multiplexing simply multiple applications to share the single network connection. What is the meaning of multiplexing? It allows multiple applications to share the single network connection. And the different protocols which are used here, TCP, UDP. So TCP is simply the transmission control protocol. I have already told about it, that it is used in the transport layer. And UDP is the user datagram protocol, which is used in the case of the transport layer. Then the next one is session layer, which is positioned here. You can see the positioning is there in the image. So the functions are simply establishing, managing, and terminating the session between communicating devices. Establishing, firstly that session will be established between the sender and the receiver, then it will be managed, and it will be terminated when the data transmission has been done. Synchronization of data is there. The next thing is the presentation layer. So like data encoding, so it converts the data into the format that can be understood by the receiving device. That is the encoding of the data, which is done on the presentation layer. Presentation means that how the data will be readable by the receiving end. So encryption is done here. So encrypts the data to protect it from unauthorized access. And the comparison, so compression, so it compresses the data to reduce the transmission time. The data is compressed to reduce the transmission time. That is also done here on the presentation layer, because in that encoding, decoding is done here. So simply the encryption is taking place, and encryption actually have the features of compression of the data also. Then the next one is the application layer, definitely. And the application layer provides the service to end users, such as the file transmission, email, web browsing, and the different protocols which are used here, the rules which are used here, simply the HTTP, FTP, and SMTP. That is the hypertext transfer protocol, file transfer protocol, and SMTP, that is the simple mail transfer protocol, which are used here. Now, if we talk about the advantages of the OSI reference model, so standardization is there, and it is comprehensive. So it provides a common framework. It provides a common framework for understanding and designing the network system. OSI reference model. It clean separation of concerns. So it divide network functions into distinct layers also, because there are 7 layers. So this is an advantage because it is making it more easier to analyze and troubleshoot the problems.